Good evening, everybody. I'm Hot Rod Bob, and you've got gas, the great American auto scene. And we're coming to you live tonight on Godgas.com and Facebook Live. Look at this.
Some sort of miracle. Apparently, we're on the air again.
We are. Imagine that. We're coming to you live from the North Hollywood studios. We're high atop the building. We are in the skyscraper. As a matter of fact, to get up the stairs here, you must have oxygen. I mean, we're two flights up. It's really hard. We're on the top. We're on the top floor too, and we've got the penthouse suite sometimes when no one else is in there.
Don't say what goes on in that penthouse.
No.
Was Harvey Weinstein in the penthouse?
No, but it's very ecological. It's a green room. Harvey Weinstein.
This is a car show.
Car show. Yeah, unless he's used the backseat of some car. I don't want to hear about. I don't even want to hear about that anyway. But yeah,
it was a '64 Lincoln Continental.
Suicide doors, and they closed on them. Yes. I can see. All right, we've got a full show tonight. We've got a lot of people calling in, and we've got an in-studio guest. Anna Octane, why don't you tell us who we've got for a studio guest? You've already seen Bruce on camera. This is Anna.
Yeah, I belong to the Great American Auto Shenanigans.
Gas. Yeah.
This is the fabulous Steve Gasser King Carpenter.
Thank you.
And he builds fabulous gassers.
He builds gassers and he's on gas.
Yeah.
They're all award-winning, show-winning, fabulous cars.
Yeah, when I say he's on gas, there's nothing sniffing. He's not taking anything internally. It is the show, Gas, the great American auto scene, and you're watching it here. You know, this has been on the air in one way, shape, or form since 1990.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
We was on radio. We started out on the Kaleidoscope Network on radio, and now we're here in the studio. We've been part of Speed Scene Live for many years.
Yes.
And now we're on our own. We grew up
in a penthouse.
and moved away on the penthouse. We've replaced them. So here we are. And whoops.
Jeez.
With our guests.
That's right.
With our guests.
That we bribed to be here.
You didn't have to bribe me. This is a car deal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything to do with cars, man. I love it.
All right, so what are we talking about? We're talking about cool cars, right?
That's right.
Yes.
So did you send your pictures?
I sent photos. I just sent him the video. It's funny. I smell like 110 octane. I did. I just came from trying to test my hot rod, and we were running 110, and I smell like gas. Even though you're on the radio, you can't smell it. But nothing smells better than race gas.
Oh, I know.
I know. I'm seriously.
Ooh,
you either love race gas or you don't love race gas.
Tell us about this.
Oh, that's a 72 Vega that I just finished up a little bit. It still needs a little more work, but I've always wanted a V8 Vega. When my father, who was working for Super Chevy Magazine back in the 70s, me and him built, when I was about 12, we built a yellow V8 Vega 72. And I always wanted one of those, and there I go. I got a yellow 72 V8 Vega.
See, that's bitchin'. Most people don't do those anymore.
No, they
Cool?
don't.
It's got a nice stance,
Well,
doesn't it?
I've already cut the front bumper in half to make it a split bumper. I got the front spoiler already on it, and the rear spoiler's on it, which is not in this photo because I just did all this. I'm going to put some black rally stripes on it and call it a day.
That's good. Can you go for a ride? I want to ride.
Well, I want
to go for a ride, little girl.
Okay, show us
I got
the
way better cars
Bruce.
than that to go for a
show
ride.
Show us Midnight Mayhem.
Well, Midnight Mayhem. Well, he doesn't know. It's a '56 Chevy Gasser. That it's my truly the icon Gasser, because all the Gassers I built, which has been 7 of them in the last 10 years. This one here, I decided to take a 2-lane blacktop.
Look in the camera, babe.
Okay. I took a 2-lane blacktop. Basically, American Graffiti, Hollywood Nights, 2-lane blacktop. I wanted to do the iconic Tri-Fi. I had a 55, so I wanted to do the 56 because I kind of like the front end of a 56. And I kind of did what I did. I took a Gasser 2-lane American Graffiti, Hollywood Nights car, and honestly, hit it out of the park. It's probably one of the meanest, nicest cars I've ever done. And of all the cars I've done, this one getting more attention. I think it's because it's black.
Well, and you do illegal burnouts in school zones.
Yes, I do. Apparently, I do. I sent Bruce the video.
I didn't hear anything.
You sent Bruce the video. We're going to get into that a little bit. Well, we got a guest calling in that really wants to harass you a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Fireball Tim.
Oh, Fireball!
Hey, guys.
Hey, Tim, how you doing? Well, you know, Steve.
Fantastic. You know, I thought I smelled 110 before I even called in.
There you go, yeah. Hey, Fireball, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing, because you got an event coming up this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. We got a really spectacular event. This is number 13 for us in this specific location. This is Wheels and Waves at the Malibu Country Mart. It's, I think, a fantastic, a very unique Cars and Coffee. Traditionally most Cars and Coffees have lots of Ferraris and Porsches and things like that. But, we decided to create something that was really concentrated on custom vehicles and art pieces and celebrities, and a place that people could come and congregate and, kind of share their work, their unique vehicle interpretations, and that's kind of what it's become. So it's really exciting. We got Tony Dow coming out, and from Leave It to Beaver, who's a very good friend of mine. And we got Paul Moyer, who is a newscaster, very famous newscaster. And if I can twist his arm, I'll get Steve to come out there and bring some of that smell with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to tell you a story about Fireball when I first met him. I met him, many times, but when I first didn't know what he did as far as children's books, and so I was with my son.
Children's books.
Yeah, I was with my son at the time. He was 3, and. And Tim came up to my son and he said, "Hey, I got this book." I said, "Yeah, I'll take a book." He signed it for him, but I didn't realize how cool the book was because I had to read it to my son at night. So after like the 4th time reading it, it was really clever. And I don't know. I'm sorry, Tim, but it eludes me the name of the book. It was your first one with all the different characters with the food and the fart.
Yeah, that was the Big Book of Wacky Rides.
Yeah, Wacky Rides.
Oh, that book is at the Peterson Automotive Museum.
It's a wonderful book, and my son to this day, because you signed for it, you signed it to his name is Connor, and he's 6 now, and he still likes the book. I know you have a new one out. I saw that you had a new one out, and I need to get that book from you.
Yeah. Well, the goal is to try and do a book every couple of months. There's we're kind of entering into an area with, the subcultures of vehicles, and we want to be able to do things like coloring books, so they're activity books. And right now we have some custom car books. We have a beach life coloring book because our TV show kind of concentrates on that. But what's going to be coming is rat rods and hot rods and bombs and all kinds of really unique vehicles, and bring those out and kind of get those kids loving that stuff, because that's our goal now. We got to make sure that kids can appreciate and enjoy the things that we cherish so much, and we kind of give that off to the next generation.
No, he's 100%
That's
right.
true.
Because my son now, I have a tea bucket, which just got this tea bucket that I'm going to take to the Grand National Roadshow Show this year, and my son really loves that tea bucket, and it's because of the book, because your book has these crazy looking rat fink character, crazy vehicles that big, high, low, everything sticks out and makes all kinds of noise. The illusion of that is what excites the kids. So when my son saw my tea bucket with this big huge blower sticking out of the hood and everything, oh, there it is. Yeah, he loves that thing, and I got to tell you, I think you're doing a great thing, Tim. I really do.
Well, I appreciate that. I was heavily influenced by Ed Roth, and I even literally have Ed's last sketch before he died. I'm very, very fortunate that I got something from him. But I grew up with the Richard Scarry books and all those things that kind of mixed animals and cars and taking inanimate objects, and that's always fun for me. And what's neat about what Steve does and the guys at Gas, they create some amazing vehicles and turn what would be a normal thing into an extraordinary thing. And it's something. We just had this fantastic show that we went out to their place this past few days and had a great time, and the turnout was extraordinary. So we're trying to create a small version of that with Wheels and Waves here in Malibu, and we got some other stuff coming up too. We got a rally coming up with the Murphy Auto Museum. So lots of great stuff going on. It just never ends in Southern California.
Well, what time do they have to be there on Sunday?
Well, the show goes from 7 to 9, but rarely do people leave at 9. So, as long as they're having a good time, we got music, we got lots of things going on. It's free coffee, free Hot Wheels. But if you want to come to the show and you want to get a decent spot, it's our Halloween event. So if you have a black car, we give you a preferential treatment, really good parking if you have a black car. And so the
Look
best
at that, hint, wink, wink. I love it.
Exactly. So, you want to get there about, I would say 6:15, 6:30 is probably okay. That's pretty good. And then by 7 o'clock, it really starts to fill up. And the show is still fairly new. We've done a number of shows in Malibu, and this one just kind of locked in. We have about maybe 150 cars at this point at the outset, but we got enough space for 650. So it's really exciting. It's really expanding and growing pretty fast.
Well, that's great. And you said you've just been putting on just a few. This is number 13, you said?
Yeah, this is number 13 in this location. So
Okay.
I started Malibu Cars and Coffee, probably 5-6 years ago.
Oh.
And that was a good show. It just wasn't in a great location because we had to bring the coffee in. And it wasn't anything to do afterwards. And this at the Malibu Country Mart is extraordinary because people can stay. They can have breakfast. There's, it's sponsored by Starbucks, so the coffee's all great. And we have a number of museums that are sponsoring. And there's just kind of fun stuff to do there. And you can leave your car. You can explore. And then you can get in your car after the show, and you can drive through the canyons, and enjoy yourself, and drive up the coast, all the way up to Point Mugu, and have, golden opportunities to take pictures of your car and your spouse and everything else. So it's really a great time for the day.
All right, good. Well, I'm planning on being there, and I'm going to pick up Johnny Martinez, who's watching us right now as well, because he's moved up to Ventura, and I'm going to pick him up. I'm out of Port Hueneme, and we're going to be coming down. I think I'm going to have to take the hot rod out of mothballs and bring it out.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
We'll definitely do that, and we'll see you there. And Anna, we got to talk you into coming out of Bakersfield.
Well, no, I'm here this week. I'm
You're
at
here
the
this week.
Peterson. What
You
day
are.
is this? Is this on
Sunday.
Saturday?
Sunday.
Oh, maybe I could do it.
There you go.
Yay, I don't have a black car, though. Sorry. Can I hitch a ride in a black car somewhere?
Yeah, drive up to Port Hueneme, and you can fit in the back seat of mine.
It's interesting because the show is situated right between the Malibu Colony and Sarah Retreat, where there's a lot of celebrities, and a lot of them just kind of meander through. And about 2 months ago, we had Dick Van Dyke. He went to get some coffee. He meandered into the show, and they ended up staying for 2 hours and sat in everybody's car and had a great time. Same thing with Keanu Reeves and a lot of really interesting people that end up really loving cars much more than we realize.
All right, it's cool. We were talking to Randy Cardoon. We had him on the show a few weeks ago, and he was talking about Tony Dow and your event as well. And maybe I can talk him into getting up early on a weekend. That might be tough. Well, anyway, see if we can get him out with his Mopar or his Safari wagon.
Yeah,
Safari wagon
Tony
is
has
cool.
He has an extraordinary story with his Corvair. Did you guys hear that story about his black Corvair that he has?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
That's
No,
gonna be
I don't
dope.
know the story. Tell me the story. I want to know.
Well,
Anna, you'll go to
when he was in
sleep.
high school, he had a black Corvair. I think it was a '62, and he modified it. Did a few things over a couple of years, and then he sold it to a friend. And then he went off and did Leave It to Beaver and did a lot of acting and directing stuff over 50 years. And then 50 years later, he gets a call from a guy saying, "Hey Tony, the guy that bought your car, it was modified, it was restored 3 times. He passed away, and he willed the car back to you." So
Wow.
about
I
2
didn't
hours
realize
later, the
that.
car
Wow.
gets delivered to Tony, and now he has his car back, and it's in fantastic shape.
Well, that's great. Yeah, we've seen some stuff on it. I didn't realize he got it willed back to him. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And the scary
what a
part,
way
though,
to
is
get a
thinking.
car,
Yeah, the scary part is it's 50 years.
Yeah.
I remember watching the show when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Dang.
for sure.
Oh my gosh. Well, we got a lot of people watching tonight, and hopefully someone will come out like Cassie Nunez and Johnny Martinez and Paul Lower. Well, no, Paul's in Detroit. He's not coming out. Cynthia Hernandez is watching. We got a lot of people tuning in right now on Facebook, and hopefully they're going to come out to your location. Now, is there a specific street address, or is it just on the Coast Route?
There is an address. I can't think of it right offhand, but it's about half a mile north of the Malibu Pier.
Okay.
It's on the corner of Cross Creek and Pacific Coast Highway.
Okay.
There's a Starbucks right there, and it's this beautiful brick parking lot with these massive 100-foot tall pine trees, and it's one of the most beautiful places in Malibu, just short of being on the beach.
Hey,
but
Tim, Steve, is this right before you go up the hill where the Pepperdine is? That shopping
right
center
before
on the
that's
right?
The Ralph's parking lot. So it's just before that. It's down. The Country Mart is where the theater is, or the theater used to be. It just shut down.
Okay.
But it's that area.
It's in that same area there. It's all within that
Right.
strip right there. Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
And as usual, we'll be filming too. Our TV show is doing real well. We're closing in on 700 episodes, and we cover culture and all the great stories. So we always shoot from that location, and we're going to walk around and hear some really great stories this time. So I'm looking forward to it.
That'll be great. All right, hey, we're going to let you get to dinner because you told us your wife's cooking dinner for you tonight.
Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Don't want to do that.
Yeah, no.
We want to see you Sunday without bandages.
No.
Yeah, happy wife, happy life.
You bet, buddy.
Yes.
Hey, Tim, thank you very much for calling in. We'll have to take some video ourselves and put it on the next show here so people can see that we actually made it.
Yeah.
We will make it.
Yeah,
We'll make it.
that'd be great. I appreciate your time, guys.
All right,
Thank you,
Tim.
everyone.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll see you.
Take care now. All right, so we've got Steve in studio. Anna's here, and Bruce
I'm
is
lost already from
well.
those directions.
That's
I'm
normal.
lost.
That's kind of normal.
All right.
Hey, we're gonna take a little bit of a break in just a few minutes as Bruce gets things all set up. We got a great video that we like to play for you, and it's about the old time drag racing, the Moon Eyes Dragster.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
this is a great video that was sent to us by Shiggy. We're gonna take a little
I
bit
was
of
there
a break
today.
in just a
I
few
was talking to
minutes as,
Chico
Bruce
today. I went to Moon Eyes, bought a little mini tank for the front of my Roadster. I was just
Yeah.
there on the way here.
Ah, cool.
I did all kinds of car stuff today. It was
Oh,
fun.
look at that.
Yes, look at that.
All right, this is great. The Moon Eyes Dragster, the original Moon Eyes Dragster.
We are covering this car in the next issue of Old School Rods.
You are?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
That is such a cool little car. That is a real well, the original was a Dode Martin Dragmaster
It's a
chassis.
Dragmaster chassis because Dean Moon was the distributor
Yeah.
in Los Angeles, anyway.
And,
And
it
they-
had a Don Zig Magneto in it. And
Yeah, he built this car as a showpiece to show people the things he could build and sell you to build your own car. He bought Potvin to get the camshafts and the front-mounted blower.
Now,
He
who's
wa-
that in the car? Is that Dean?
No, that's Dean with the hat on. That was his
Okay.
driver at the time.
Okay. Now, this was what the Diamond Showcase car, like you said, he would test and drive and
Yeah.
put his own parts on his car and talk about marketing
Well,
speed equipment.
And the thing is this car was a fast car.
Yeah.
Had an excellent winning record. Now, the video was taken at Pomona. This is the old Pomona
Yeah,
track.
that's what it looks like.
Still the
huh?
track today, but those are the trees along the side, and you can see there's no barriers, there's no grandstands. They got trees in the middle of the parking lot. And this car was sold to Revell Models, so they could use it as a promotional piece to build the model car. And they sold the model car of the Moon Dragster. Dean luckily got the car back. Well, I don't know if Dean Sr. did, but Dean Jr. got the car back, and now his Dean's daughter has the car. The original one is it used to be at Moon Eyes in Norwalk,
It's at the Don Garlitz Museum.
but yeah, it was moving to the Don Garlitz Museum, and the reproduction, the replica of the car, is here at Moon Eyes headquarters in Norwalk, California. Shige gets to drive this car occasionally. We've seen him drive it a few times. We wish he wouldn't. No, I mean seriously.
Well, I think
Well,
wasn't the original car the 1962 Winter Nationals winner or something?
It was early
and it went to
60s.
England.
Yeah, it was on the tour. I was on the NHRA tour to Europe, and Dean brought that along with him, along with many other drivers. You had Tommy Ivo and a few others that went with him. There was a whole tour of NHRA regulars, and they showed the British what American drag racing was all about. And this car was just amazing. Small block Chevrolet, Potvin front-mounted blower, very low.
Mallory Magneto, look at that.
Yeah,
I have one of those
Yeah.
on my Studebaker.
on your Studebaker.
Yeah, I have a
Really?
racing engine in my Studebaker and didn't know it, but I wish my car looked like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, here we go.
And getting ready. There it is at Pomona. Now, you can see the old Pomona. No grandstands.
Oh, look at
That's
his
the
lab
tower
coat.
in the
He's
back.
in a lab coat.
yeah, like that. He's in a lab coat.
Revell lab
Love
We
it.
call him Dr. Moon. Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
And that was before the days of a Christmas tree. Look, the guy's got flags in his hand.
Yeah, look at that.
Yay!
Nice. And they just smoked the tires down because they had so much power, but the tires never came along as fast as the power.
Well-
so they just ended up
Just hammering it. Yeah.
hammering it.
And they didn't realize at that point in time that if you spun the tires beforehand
Yep.
and didn't spin them when you raced, you actually went quicker.
Yeah, that was-
we were talking to Art Crispin about that. And Crispin was the first one not to spin the tires because he had a bad clutch. And if you let the clutch out real hard, it would smoke it and the clutch would be gone. So he slipped the clutch and won Bakersfield and was about 5 miles an hour faster and a lot quicker on the ET. After that, everyone caught on.
Do you know how the Moon Eyes got their eyes?
Yes.
How?
Typewriter.
typewriter. He backspaced his O's in the name Moon with little periods and created the Moon Eyes,
there
which
you
was
go.
Yeah.
Dean Moon's vision for speed equipment.
I had
Isn't
no
that awesome?
idea.
Yeah.
You are full of information there, young lady.
Are you
My
saying
God.
she's
Oh,
full
let me
of
look at her eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
You're full of
Giggly.
information.
she's a Court Lowe.
Yeah. Wow. That's funny. Yeah. You know, I guess you talking about Moon, Chico, and I only know the Chico there and Bob that works there and
Yeah.
Riley. They've been sponsoring me for almost 10 years now. I mean, I literally tell Chico when I go in there, I'm trying to give him money. He's always giving. I go, no, I'm going to pay you for this. But if you think about how many people actually, the gassers that I built, I use their pedals, their gauges, their tack holders. Every one of my cars got a tank on there. I go in there and I'm a Moon catalog. In fact, my 55, my 55 Asphalt Animal is in their new catalog.
Oh, cool.
In there. But yeah, the Moon has always been supportive. You know, and Chico, he wanted me to go to Japan this year.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, well, but you know, unfortunately.
If you can't go, I'll go with the car.
I got, like I
I'll
said
take the
before,
car.
a young
I'll go.
wife, young son, and you know,
I'll go.
and I would love to go, and I appreciate the fact that he even offered to me to go. But like I said,
That's the Nova.
yeah,
That's Blue Magic.
Yeah, that's Blue Magic.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I called it Blue Magic, and they always thought it because of the polish, right? The Blue
Yeah.
Magic polish.
Yeah,
I did
no.
it because it is such a nightmare to drive. I saw Blue Magic. Blue Magic is from the Breaking Bad, the cocaine, the crystal stuff they made called Blue Magic. Because this thing was such I mean, literally. It's a Pro Street gasser with a 427 Hillborn injected motor, and it doesn't steer, doesn't stop. It does everything wrong, but does everything right at the same time.
It's an American hot rod.
Your hands shake and you just go crazy, and so that's the right way to do it.
Now, this is at the Grand National Roadster Show.
Yeah,
Now, Steve does the events. That's Daryl Hollenbeck.
Yeah,
Steve.
my buddy Daryl.
Steve does all the, and that's when he was winning.
Yeah,
That's when
the
you
Nova.
won for
That
the
was
Nova.
Yeah, the Nova.
He does the exhibits for American Truck and Trailer Body Company.
Oh,
There's
that's
the asphalt animal.
That was a bad car. That was a bad dude right there.
Yeah.
Bad dude.
That car ate asphalt for breakfast.
Yeah, it did. It also would scare you because it sits up. So people don't realize that had the original '64 Econoline, Ford Econoline straight axle and a Chevy.
Oh, really?
That right.
And I drilled the holes in it, and but see. I didn't go with the Speedway. I never go with a Speedway. Actually, you can buy. There's nothing wrong with them, but I always want to go the extra, do it the way people would
Back in the day, yeah.
This is
appreciate.
a Mike Basso photo from the
From the photo shoot.
From our photo shoot.
Yeah, and had drum brakes all the way around, and it steered like an old '70 Bronco that you stuck in the air too high. And you know, honestly, people say, "But how?" But I actually got to the point where that was enjoyable for me to move the wheel around 5 to 10 inches as the faster you go. But I got used to it, and I enjoyed it. And it was the fun part of the fun of it was driving it. You know, it was there's my '56. That
with
thing's
Caitlin.
With
That's Caitlin. The other one was Carrie.
Yeah.
Okay.
We put beautiful blondes on all his cars.
Yeah, I appreciate it. By the way, and I hate that. I wish
Look
they'd
at the
stop
rear
doing
end.
that.
She's got nice posse, doesn't she? She's got posse,
Posse,
too.
yeah.
Nice.
That's why that
Okay,
license plate, which you can't see on there, says Gasser, and it's illegal. I got that from the DMV, and I've been taking it from car to car because once
There
I
you go.
got it, and it's original black and yellow, which they sent me a black and yellow one, but it says Gasser. And the people say, how'd you get that? I know I got it like 3 Gassers ago. And I just move it from car to car because it's not,
That's the way to do it.
that is the way to do it.
At the NHRA Motorsports Museum, we just had the cruise night last Wednesday,
the
a week ago,
they call it the
Twilight Cruise. And I've been filling in for Dave McClellan there. I'd like to see Dave back out again, although I like doing his job. That's fun. But, I hope he's doing well. He had some surgery a while back and has been recuperating.
There's Carrie.
Well,
Go-Go boots.
Now, you don't have the gold one, do you, on there, the Galpin Gasser 3?
Now,
That's
this
the
real quick. This is the Triton that Steve helped coordinate the exhibit
oh, God,
at
really?
the Grand
No, I
National
helped
Roadster
that-
Show.
The exhibit. She's
And
being-
actually helped
car.
coordinate the entire
whole car. Really?
That's really
Yeah.
a 59 El Camino.
It is. It's cool. And it was across from me at the booth in West Coast Customs.
Yeah,
and
at
that
the Marina,
belongs
Santa
to
Maria.
Yeah.
Mike
Yeah.
Garner, and he donated that car to the Peterson.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
That was a Keith Dean build. Now, that car was originally built by Carl Krumey, who worked for Barris, and he was a secret squirrel for Ford.
Yeah.
And that has a Cessna windshield up on the
Yeah,
roof.
On the roof, you bet.
Oh, that's what he did
It's
to
an
it.
all clear windshield
Yeah.
on top. Like I said before, it's the back if it's a '60 Cadillac, the front's a '59 El Camino, and the whole front headlight is not a headlight, just a big solid piece of plastic.
It's an
that's
LED.
molded. Yeah, and
LED light.
It was the inside is beautiful, but like I said, it's got this glass roof, and what they've done is they put Keith was pretty neat. Put air conditioning in it, and you run these vents that you don't see that blow air all the way through there. Imagine how hot that gets inside.
Oh yeah,
there.
it's a
it was. I honestly,
There it is.
The whole concept of this car when we were doing it was. It was going to be look like an original '59 concept car that the GM would have put out.
Sure.
Like here, that's the whole feel of it was a concept car, and I think they really hit it out of the park when the execution when it's done. It's beautiful. It actually reminded me of like you'd see.
Yeah, the car was amazing when
Well,
I
the
saw it.
aluminum coves, that's actually the exhaust ports.
Yeah, the
right
exhaust
there.
ports go out the side there.
Oh, look at
Yeah,
that.
right by the back of the door there where it starts.
Wow.
That's the exhaust opening.
You wouldn't run it much, or else those would be all discolored. and
Yeah,
nasty.
yeah.
Well, we picked up a few more people watching. Kimberly Gady, her dad was part of the Sauer Sisters drag racing team. She's watching us right now. Rick
Welcome.
McGee, Top Fuel guy.
Oh, hello.
He's watching us. Ken Cruton.
Top Fuel. He's got nitro, not
He's
gas.
got nitro. Yes, he's got nitro. I do too. A
There's
little
Steve
bottle in my
with
pocket.
Steve with George and Bill.
Oh man, what a picture that is.
Yeah, look
at
at
the face I'm making. And George always called me Wild Man, and that's his nickname he gave me. And I suggested I should name one of my gassers, the Wild Thing or Wild Man, because that's what he always called
great.
me. The only reason he called me Wild Man because he liked the women I carried around with. If you knew George, that was important to him.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah, he really liked the ladies.
Well,
that I kept
don't
company
be
on.
fooled. Bill did too.
All right, well. No, I got too many stories about.
We won't tell those stories on the air.
No, stories of everybody. Too many guys.
No.
Well, hey, listen, it goes hand in hand. I must tell you, every car guy I met, a true hot rod car guy, likes women. Cars and women go together. It always has. That's why there's backup girls. You look all the way back from Jungle Jim and look at, it back in the day, cars and women, and they just go hand in hand, and they're both loves of men.
What do they say? Hot rods get the girls, but the customs keep them. Isn't that
Okay.
something
Oh,
they
is
say?
that-
Is
Something
that what
like
they say?
that.
That's what the
Yeah.
custom guys say.
That's exactly. I'm with him. I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. You talk to a Ferrari guy, he's got a different idea.
Yeah. I'd rather have a woman that likes a hot rod versus a Ferrari.
Yeah.
If the Ferrari, all she's looking for is somebody to buy her stuff. The house
That's
hot rod
right.
girl.
With a hot rod, they're cheaper.
Hot rod girls like
not
action.
cheaper. They cost less. No, wait a minute. I don't know how to put this. Wait a
Hot
minute.
rod girls
I'm
are not
going-
cheaper.
No. Cheaper to keep her. All right, Bruce, are we about ready? We're going to be taking a quick break here on gas. We'll be back in just a little bit. We've got to recuperate here.
Yes.
Well, that was all very clear if you're a duck. But here's what Donald was trying to teach the boys. See these two pairs of springs? These are longer and wider than these shorter, stiffer springs. Now, everybody knows that a longer, wider spring like this has a much softer, smoother action than the short springs that you find on most cars. But not on Hudson's. No, sir. Hudson cars are built with these exclusive deep coil springs to give you a ride that's 3 times softer and smoother. They're safer, too. Here's why. These deep coil springs are placed above the center of gravity. In most cars, the short springs are below the center of gravity. It's easy to see the Hudson with its deep coil springs is much more stable on turns and curves. There's little or no uncomfortable swing and sway in a Hudson. Here's another thing you'll like about the brand new Hudson Hornet. You have your choice of the latest, greatest of the V8 engines, the Hudson Hornet V8 or the famous National Championship 6. American Motors has really rolled out the red carpet with the completely new Hornets and Wasps. See them. Drive them at your Hudson dealers now.
All right, we are back again, and you've got gas. That was interesting looking at that Hudson like that. I mean, I remember those cars, not when they were new. I was too young for that. Honestly, I really was. But those cars are just cool. If you look at some of the things. Now, the spring on top of the A-arms, they were not the only ones to do that. Chevy and the Chevy 2. Falcons did it. Fairlanes did it. Mustangs did it. So that was something used by a lot of companies later on, but these guys are one of the ones that did it first. And those cars were amazing. The Hudson Hornet, that part of AMC, which unfortunately got absorbed by Chrysler Corp.
Yeah.
And then they disassembled the company and kept Jeep, and the cars went bye-bye.
Yeah.
Those were Steve McQueen's favorite cars. He
They
had
were.
4 of them.
4 of them.
He put the Hornet engines in the Wasps, and those cars actually were the inspiration for Doc Hudson in the Pixar movie Cars.
Yep,
true.
the earlier ones were because of the twin H power, and they were the NASCAR. I guess that was called NASCAR back then. I was too young to know, but that was NASCAR. And those Hudson Hornets with the twin H were cleaning everybody's clocks. Whether it was a V8 or not, the Hudson Hornet 3 years in a row, I believe, was the championship car.
Yeah, and of course that was a 6-cylinder car. But you know the big
flathead.
advancement but the advancement, of course, for them was nothing to do with the motor. They had that lower center of gravity because all the floors were down below the frame and all that stuff. So the car was
The car actually handled better.
Yeah.
Now I remember my dad had a Nash, which was a Hudson with a different badge.
Yeah.
And the front seats folded down.
Oh,
The
cool.
whole interior of the vehicle became a bed, and I figured that's why I came to be.
Yeah. Could be. Could be.
Yeah,
there,
you
bro.
never know. I mean,
So your dad was a hot rodder and a cruiser all in one?
no, yeah. Well, I don't know where you would park on a cruise. Here we've got places you can park, and we go Mulholland Drive. A lot of places you can, overlook the city. In New York City, the only thing you could overlook would be another parking space.
Yeah.
There's no mountains in the city. There's tall buildings.
There's alleys. So
There's alleys, yeah.
So basically, it was somewhere in an alley, obviously.
Could have been. You never know.
Lots of alleys in New York.
A lot of alleys in New York. Lots of dark spots. Because
Yep.
they didn't have garages. That's for sure. Anyway, Anna.
Yes.
What is going on otherwise?
This is Cruisin' Grand,
Yes.
and we did the Nitro Revival at Verona this weekend. We've got some shots here.
Nope,
that's
there's a
good
crazy
one.
shot. Yeah, that was as the car
so
was
me.
moving,
That's
man.
Okay.
All right.
That's me taking. Oh, this is a tribute to Donna Winkle, which is Randy's mom.
Okay.
And
That's nice.
these guys brought in all these cars from all over.
Yes. And a lot of
The
them we had.
antique doll, the Lazarus family.
We had 20 of the cars at Cruisin' Grand the night before. And they actually lit the cars up. They fired the cars up. They took the drive lines out, but they pushed them down the street on Grand Boulevard in Escondido.
I saw the video.
Running.
I saw the video. It
Yep.
was awesome. I think I
Oh,
don't know
my
who posted it, but
photos.
there was a lot of people there.
It was just wall-to-wall people. We
yeah.
had
Bruce, you
John
gotta
Ewald.
edit.
You got to edit, yeah. We had John Ewald
the before
at the
and
start
after
of Grand. Yeah, before and after. We had John Ewald at the start. We had.
That's a wheel stander.
yeah.
That's the wheel stander. Which one?
The fire
Oh,
truck.
the fire truck. Yeah, it was great. Hey, with
Oh,
Verona.
Heavy Under Glass was there.
Heavy Under Glass was there? That's cool. One of the things we got to shout out to, and one of the people that made the Nitro Night possible with Steve Gibbs was Ron Johnson.
Yes.
Ron Johnson is the owner of the Chisler dragster, Tommy Ivo's dragster, and a number of others. He even has Tommy Ivo's original trailer with the glass sides that he was
Does
hauling.
he really?
Yeah,
right.
and it is the original one too.
it
Tommy
is.
found it, and Ron restored it. And unfortunately, Ron got to see Verona. He got to see Cruisin' Grand, 2 of the events that he was instrumental in bringing to fruition. But Ron passed away yesterday. He had a very short and aggressive battle with cancer, and we wish our best to the family. He was a great guy. He strapped me in Tommy Ivo's car one time and got to fire that thing up, and always very helpful. Big Yoan, they called him, and he was just a hell of a guy.
Stupid Hey, Cancer, I know you're watching the show.
Yeah.
One of these days, pal.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. Yeah, I've been getting involved with a number of different shows to benefit cancer survivors
There's
and
the
such.
Moon Eyes Dragster.
There's the Moon Eyes Dragster. Chico had it down there at Verona, along with many others. What did you have? About 40 or 50? I couldn't make it. I was working another race. That looks like.
I think that's the.
Well, that's one of the Altereds. That's not the Cruisin' car.
No. That's not the new house car, is it?
No, that's not the new house car.
That's the other one.
The other one, the other yellow.
What is
Now,
that?
this
Is that a
Oldsmobile
hype?
gets
No,
driven
okay.
all over the place.
Yeah, I've seen
Okay.
that at the local. Was it a show? Where was that show? Was that in the?
That was a Road Kings show. That I remember talking to the guy.
he was
who
at,
won.
Well, he was at the Road King show, too.
Route 66. A couple. He was at
Yeah,
Route
down in San
66
Bernardino.
in Ontario.
He drives that thing all
Yeah,
over the
I was
place.
there. I
Yeah.
saw it there. I was,
There's no
It's
seats.
horrifying.
It is,
man.
but it's purposely built that way.
Yeah, I saw it there.
Mechanically, the thing is solid as can be.
Yeah.
Externally, it looks like it's not going to make it down the street.
Yeah.
There's the engine.
There's the engine, yeah.
Yeah.
And look at that genuine Brew 102 beer can.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go, man.
There was everything. There's me in the fire suit. They
There's
had
you?
That's me.
That's you?
That's on a push truck. Yeah, that's me. Someone
There's
got
a
photo.
filter system working on that.
Yeah.
I love the paint job on
You're
that
airbrushed
car.
in.
This
Yeah.
guy came all the way
Airbrushed in.
down from I don't know Washington. Cool
Yeah.
little wagon.
A little Comet wagon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's one of the AFX guys.
Yeah, just so many guys. It was like a family reunion.
Nice.
There was nitro
Yeah.
soup,
Yeah. I mean, it was basically a reunion.
nitro noodle doodle.
Nitro Noodle Doodle. Okay.
That's
That's a cool fire suit. I'm sorry that we didn't edit the photos
It's all-
beforehand.
Hey, it's
but-
straight out of the camera, man.
Yeah.
What are you
Oh,
gonna do?
there
It's
is,
live television, baby.
That's your Zen moment right there.
That-
They were rolling their
Oh,
own
my
cigarettes
God.
Nice.
With filters?
with
filters.
filters. There's Stormy's helmet with a boot sticking out of it. There's our lunch,
And some
cigarettes
hummus.
and hummus.
Nice. Cigarettes, water, and hummus. Nice.
Yeah.
Do you dip one in the other? How does that work?
Yeah.
But it was fun, you know. The Verona let us come, or Steve Gibbs did a phenomenal
Yeah.
job. They let us come down and just take over, and it was a lot of fun. There's me and Holly.
Hot Rod Holly.
Look at the boobs on her.
Yeah. Yeah. That's terrible. Why
Those
do you put
carbs.
that up there? It's like
I know.
She's got dual
God.
carbs.
What are you thinking? Yeah.
You're no slouch yourself there, lady.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
But I hide mine.
Yeah,
Yes.
which is a mistake, by the way.
All right, so
We'll move on.
Baroda was great. This was a purposely done event. It was bracket racing in the morning till about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then the nitro cars came out. They cackled. They went down track. That was Steve Gibbs' own vehicle. The UFAB, this is the Iski UFAB Special, and Eiley Stafford, the 7.0 Pro hard-charging driver, who now became
Crowwer.
for Crowwer, just became a paralegal.
Oh, wow.
Is that
a
right?
paralegal
Yeah,
whose
paralegal.
dream is to drive a funny car.
And she's been going at it strong. And speaking of that, Ron Johnson helped her buy her first vehicle.
Oh, nice.
And then she moved on. She was driving for the House of Mouse for Joel Grusin, and then now for Crowwer.
I love that lettering. I love that real gold leaf.
She
I know,
was driving.
yeah.
That's the real gold leaf.
Yeah.
It's funny. All the lettering on all my cars, like all the Galp for the very first, which you don't have a photo. Which the very first Galpengasser was a '56 that I did, and then all of it was done with spun gold leaf or silver, and everybody always thought it was lettering. It was stickers.
Yeah.
No, I never put stickers on my car. It's not because I don't like stickers. Only I thought it would be. It's just cooler to say they're not stickers. And we walk up to them, people rub them. You know, I love when they're rubbing them, going, "Is that a sticker?" No, it's not a sticker. Cost you about 8 times more to get real gold leaf versus a sticker.
That's it.
Yeah, like Mike Bandito and Steve Van Diemen, both were artists that did all the stuff on my gassers. These guys are top notch. And of course, Al Martinez has done some of the pinstriping for me. And then you're talking about Larry. Was it Larry Martinez?
No, Johnny.
Johnny. I'm sorry. Johnny's going to kill me for saying Larry. But Johnny, he's a hell of a pinstriper. And I noticed he just painted his truck, and it looks amazing.
He does a lot of
Yes.
trophies for
No,
people.
he just painted
And
this thing like a
you know
crazy
what he
candy
did?
apple red or something.
Yeah, it's
He took the
black
lights
cherry.
from like
Yeah.
a street light,
Yeah.
the red,
Yeah.
and he striped them, and they were so cool.
I've been telling his wife Linda, be careful. She can't let him in the house too long. He's going to stripe everything that doesn't move.
He's
And,
always
the toilet seat is next.
That's what he said. He goes, Steve, whatever, anything you want, I want to stripe for you. I want to put something like that. And he was like, I think, doesn't matter what it is, I can hand him anything. My phone here, stripe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he gives back. That's the nice part
Yeah,
about
he
it.
does.
He's a give back
great.
guy.
All right, we got some more people that are tuning in. My wife's watching us, so we got to be careful.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we do.
And
Be careful.
Pete Muir Yellow Funny Car Guy, he's watching. Nicole George. Now, I teased Nicole about this. She holds the land speed record on the 605 freeway between the 10 and the 60.
Go, girl.
Yeah. She passed me like I was standing still one night.
I'm
But
not
she's
sure.
one of the NHRA Summit Series racers. I just want to say hi to her. And Bob Klein, track manager at Irwindale Drag Strip and Speedway. He's there. And
Is this Dover Drag Strip?
Don Mackey.
Is
yes.
this New York?
Well, we're getting into that. And guess who's
okay.
on? Guess who's probably calling in right now?
Bobby
Our
Schlegel.
East Coast correspondent.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna put you on.
Bobby Schlegel, probably. We'll find out in a moment.
Is it Bobby?
It is
It's
Bobby.
Bobby!
Boy, we timed this just right, didn't we, Bruce?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Ooh, look at that. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that was our 9th annual Dover Drag Strip Nostalgia Race Weekend and car show on Sunday.
All right. Hey,
This
Bobby,
year
how
we-
you doing? You're on air right now.
Yep. I just Bruce said it was going to be on hold, and I didn't know it was going to be this quick.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
fast this
No,
time.
we're
man.
fast.
We're quick. We're quick. We can't hold back.
Yeah, you got some, I like some of the shows going on out there. Too bad it's like 3,000 miles between us.
I
like
know,
to,
man.
Just a hop, skip, and a drive.
Yeah, but I can't get my Dragmaster on the plane. They still won't put it in freight downstairs.
You
I got to
can't-
make it a little bit
can't you
smaller.
do like
Turn
carry on?
sideways? Yeah, carry on. Come on. It's not that heavy. Come on.
Yeah, it's only 1,250 pounds.
Oh, well, heck.
Man, that is
Yeah.
pretty light.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. All right, so, Bobby, tell us about what happened at Dover. You sent us these pictures. You were there. At a great event, I hear.
Yeah, it was awesome. This car that you're seeing now is the actual AA fuel alter of the Pacers that used to be out in Long Island, and George and his son were just in there with the two. George has his hands behind his back. He's George Signet. He's one of the original Pacers. His partner died a few years ago, and that's a tribute car to their original Pacers AA fuel altered from back in the 60s and stuff, and they're still going strong. And now
That's a
Scott's
cool
got his fuel
car.
license, so
Whose
he's
car
running the
is-
altered.
Whose car is that?
The brown primer.
The brown primered one.
I couldn't get the name off that one because it was just finished like a few months ago, and the guy's still testing tune it. But he came out. He was one of the ones that got in touch with Dino, who does the show, and says, "I got a radical car. I want to bring it." Dino says, "Well, if we got a parking spot." He came in early enough parking spot, and I think he was running mid-8s with that car at the time.
That's
Yeah.
something.
Yep, and he's going to have it colored next year. That's another racer that just came out of Pennsylvania. And there's the name, the cars that were there was unbelievable. I mean, the people were just they couldn't believe the show this year. And Dino just went above and beyond to get all the blown cars, the Willys and
Nice.
the Pacers to come up, and
Nice.
plus the Nito and East Coast Gassers and all those guys and everything.
Can you scroll back to a couple of photos? Wait, right there. Nice
Look at that.
ass. I had to say that.
There goes our FCC rating.
Okay, sorry.
No, we don't have one of those. We're fine. Actually, this is kind of good, Bobby, because one of the things that we get an attitude about, or people get an attitude about, is they think California's the end all, and everything is out in California, and this is the only place where you can see these things. I am so glad you sent this because there is life on the East Coast. That relish.
That's us just gathering around in the hotel there.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
you guys
the
did
original-
exactly what we do out here. You did it a little bit differently. You got the East Coast flavor in it. But drag racing is not just unique to California, nor is Gassers and Big Bad
There's-
Blown
Okay,
Motors.
so what's really the difference between the East and the West Coast cars?
Well, I mean, as far as gassers, I can tell you right off the bat.
Tell us.
The East Coast and Midwest gassers, they are not as pretty, shiny, and cleany
Oh, look
in
at
show
these.
cars.
Yes, they are.
Not all of them, but they're actually fat. They race them. They go out
Yeah.
and beat on them. They break them. They do wheelies, and they're not afraid to break them. Unfortunately, out here in Southern California, the racetracks are not. They're far and few between. There's too much to get to them, traffic, and just there's so much more involved out here to go racing, and just in general, where in the East Coast it seems like it's like a big tailgate party, and everybody just they don't care. Bring it out of your garage, pull it out of the barn, go running down the street. Out here, everybody's afraid. If you bring something not right, the lawyers are you wreck it, and it's just. I just feel that out here that they're pretty cars. I know I have a bunch of pretty gassers, and I'd love to race them, but I don't have time because everybody expects me in Southern California. You got to have 5 jobs and a big house, and everybody expects so much out of you. And then I see these East Coast gassers and these pictures, and I go, God, I just want to be there in the Midwest with a gasser and just go to the racetrack every weekend and have fun and try to break my front axle.
Yeah, like this guy's going to do on the land.
No,
then.
I'm
Look at
serious.
that thing.
And that's the fun part, And God, I just did it. Like today, before I got here, I did a little run in my car really hard up and down the street, and it was so much fun. I mean, how much fun would it be at a track?
Oh, it'd probably be safer too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
School zone, remember?
Not
you were in the school zone.
School
Yeah.
zone.
I mean, come on.
I remember going in some of the shops when I was growing up in the Bronx and everything, and the guys would say, "If it don't go, chrome it and send it to California."
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, well, you know, the East Coast attitude, and everyone thought Don Garlits was, he was the king, and he was going to beat everybody. He came out to Bakersfield, what was it, 1957, I think it was, or 58 for the first time, to the Bakersfield, the Smokers event, and he got handed it to him. He didn't win. He did a good show of it, but man, he found out the West Coast guys. He was still running 4 carburetors on his car, where the West Coast guys already had blowers.
Did you guys ever read the story of the Isky car with the U Make It manifold on it with the 6 deuces on
The
it?
UFAB, no.
Yeah, read the story on that car. The name of the driver left my mind just now, but Garlits hooked up with him, and the driver of the Isky car gave Garlits all the hints. He's the one who told him that before you leave the starting line, pump the hand pump for the fuel tank so you don't run out of gas and stuff. He came back the following year, and Garlits beat the Isky car.
Yeah.
Look at that. Novus.
Yeah, well, Garlits was a fast learner.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know, the other thing I like about the cars that you're showing that we've got from your event, they've got names to them.
Yeah.
Where California, the only name you normally find on is the owner or the sponsor.
Yeah.
You guys, I mean, these things, this is where you got rivalries. You got some racing.
That group there were all cars that raced at Dover over the years when Dover was open, like the Superstock Mustangs, that 57 that's on there now. That was a barn find. That's an original Grumpy Jenkins car, documented from Jenkins before he passed away.
Wow.
No, the Camaro. Yeah.
Yep.
So
And
the next
he
car
had
there.
it at Dover one time. The guy who owns it now found documentation. He found an old Dover slip with that car number.
Jeez.
That's an original SC Scrambler.
Yeah, now those are cool.
Yeah. That's a 57 Ford.
Yeah.
You know, all hot rodders should get awards for preserving these vehicles
Yeah.
and still driving them. And I really think they should just stop over-regulating the old race cars. But that's just
Camaro.
Well, yeah, what they've done, though, is they've done a lot of the West Coast stuff, and I guess because of things, a lot of safety rules have gone in.
Yep.
And I know in the case of the Geezer Gassers that come to Indy every year to run with the good guys, they've backed down to 8th mile. And that's for safety's sake, because a lot of those guys are still running the early chassis. That's the other thing. A lot of these cars are still the original chassis. You come out to the West Coast, they're all tube chassis cars.
Yeah.
They're Repla racers.
That yellow dragster now, that was Charlie Allen. He started with Nito and stuff. That was the 200-mile-an-hour dragster shootout for the event. He set his best ET up there that weekend. He ran 206 miles an hour with that car.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was awesome racing between those two. They had every time. Well, there was a picture. We don't have a lot of grandstands at Lebanon Valley, but what was there for the Sunday was packed. There was the one picture in the beginning there, and people were not leaving the grandstands even to go downstairs and get some of the awesome, what we call dirty water hot dogs, but now they fry them on the grill, so there's not too many people that want to buy the hot dogs. We like them from the Bronx style when they come out of the water container.
Yeah, tube steaks.
Yeah, there you go. But we call them dirty water because they've been in the water all
Well,
day.
you
You
need
know.
to cook them in beer, and that makes them taste good.
Yeah, but you don't remember after the second one.
Yeah, the names on the cars are cool. The Warpath, the Candy Stripper, Mr. What was it? Mr. something on that last car.
That's bits
Wild
and pieces on that one now.
Yeah, it's just great. They
No.
all have attitude and personality.
Yeah, Butch Swoop is asking if Don Garlits ever had a shop in Chula Vista, California. No. Garlits was always out of Florida. Now, he may have stayed at someone's shop down in the L.A. area or Southern California when he was racing out here on the West Coast, but he was always based out of Florida.
Yeah. In fact, next year, Dino's already got the track lined up. Howie, the owner, and Wayne, the track manager, already set the dates up for 21st, 22nd, 23rd of September next year. It's a 3-day event.
Okay.
And they already revamped the scheduling and stuff, so the exhibition runs on Sunday are going to be more...
What's with the tractor?
Yeah.
What was that?
they had a little oil down, and so what they do is
I was
after they
thinking
coat
they were racing
they put
that. Blown
they drop the weight
tractors.
down on the back and put some more rubber back on the truck.
I love that old Plymouth wagon. That is cool.
That's nice.
All right, we got other people watching in. We got Kaya Ramsey just tuned in, Arlene
What is
Glock,
that
Don
name?
McKay, Al Nosse, N-O-S-S-E,
Is that Studebaker?
Jimmy Israel. Let's go back and see what that picture was.
Was that what is
That's
that?
a 57 Chevy.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you Studebaker people can't identify cars.
Studebaker on the brain.
Yeah. So, Bobby, did you fire up your cars at all?
Yeah, I had Hills of Popping up there, and then there was the
that's cool.
picture in the pits of the 3 cars that were owned by Bobby Lagana, and the Chevy Moco, his Challenger, and his 68 Camaro before they started doing the crazy altered wheelbase stuff. And during the day, I was introduced to his daughter. Her 2 brothers, Dom and Bobby, are on Steve Torrance's Top Fuel team.
Right.
And I cackled Hells of Poppin' with Marie sitting in the in Hells of Poppin'.
That's cool. We got some great photos, Bobby. You just showed a GTO or a Le Mans wheels up in the air. Look at that. I mean, the one before that, too. There were 2
What
of
did
them. Look at
Steve
that one.
say? That's a good-looking goat.
That's a goat, yeah. Now, GTO...
Now, that's the farm animal
Yeah.
you really want.
Contrary to popular belief, GTO does not stand for gas, tires, and oil. Beautiful hot rod pickup truck
What's
there.
it stand for?
It's Gran Turismo Omologato.
That's it, yeah.
Nicely done.
Jungle Job. Oh, there's that 57 Ford.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, I see things like that. My son's got
Slick.
a sedan, kind of a sedan, not that sedan. There were 2 different sedans. There was one that had the hardtop roof and stainless steel pillars. That's what my son's got, and he's been talking about selling it. I go, yeah, I'm gonna buy that thing and put
Is
it in
he
the garage.
using an ATV as a tow bike?
Yeah, there's a little wing, look at the wing on the back. A little race car wing on the back.
Wow.
ATV, don't give him credit there.
That's the
Cool
difference
Chevy.
between East and West Coast hot rodders.
right there.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
right there.
They
Hey, and
show
Bobby,
their cars with
yeah.
ATVs.
By the
Okay,
way,
that's
Bobby,
cool.
I know we're blasting through these quick, man. You sent so many great photos. There's way too many great cars to be, seeing them all. So
Malibu
we
with the
do what we
wheels up.
can.
Oh, great angle.
Look at the wrinkle wall. Yeah.
Oh, look at
Yeah,
this
the photographers up there were good. John, who was the
Pinch
original
that
photographer,
button.
passed away at the beginning of the year with cancer. So now they got the girl up there, and her and her, I think it's a boyfriend. One stays at the near the Jersey barrier wall, and then the boyfriend, or might even been a brother, he was sitting in between. That's myself and K-Man, who's take some of the pictures sitting there.
Cool.
Nice.
Thank you,
I'm enjoying
K-Man.
underneath
Good
the sun.
shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's K-Man with his black shirt on, sweating it out and sitting there trying to grab some
I
glass of
like
water.
this old Chrysler DeSoto. It's Chrysler.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah, there was
beautiful
that coming out of the show. There was 210 cars in the car show again this year.
Not bad.
And this is the beginning of the lineup for the parade to come up. They come up the return road and get their plaques and awards and stuff. To do that.
Now, that's a cool custom.
53 Chevy.
Yeah, 53. Yeah, 53.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
there was like I said, everybody was a little bit of everything this year, and then next year with the 3 days, it's going to be the race. He's already got like 8 funny cars that want to come back already.
Really?
And they did 2 more dragsters that want to be part of a 4 200-mile-an-hour dragster shootout for the Saturday and Sunday event.
Man, well, it looks
Get it.
like you guys. The weather, at least in these shots, looks perfect. Even though it's kind of, it's definitely fall time, depending on where you live.
Yeah, it was a little warm. It was in 70, about 80 degrees Saturday, and then Sunday was about 79 degrees. It drizzled a little bit Saturday night, and but there was that track is known for a headwind. And you look up at the tower and you see the flags straight out. You know you got at least a 10-mile-an-hour headwind coming in on you.
Oh, that must
And,
help these aerodynamic bricks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, but no, they definitely outdid themselves again, and the gangs are coming back next year. They're already booking the rooms for the hotels, and they just want to come back and do it the old style racing. As long as they pass tech and they fall into the categories, they can go out and have fun.
Now, is it actual racing or is it time only just exhibition
No, it's
passes?
actual racing. They go for they got awards from that Dover drag strip, and then there's awards that the track gives out for different classes, and then Nito has the double-day show Saturday and Sunday. There's 2 events for them. East Coast Cancers make Saturday and Sunday individual points races for their teams, for their clubs, and then Mandrew was there, and then it was the altered wheelbase cars coming up from Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Yeah, these are some of the East Coast and Nitto cars now.
Oh, look at that. And that's the second or third Nomad I've seen cut up by Hot Rod Ingenuity. I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's great, too.
And that's original Dover car from '61, that carpetbagger. Just repainted a few times.
We got a Gasser champion watching us right now, Kenny Brown out of Ventura,
Hi, Kenny
California.
Brown.
And Margaret Ann Gordon out of Utah.
Yeah.
Hi, Margaret.
Look at that thing.
That's original Wally Booth car.
Oh, look at that thing just
It's
picking
Margot
itself up.
Gordon. She was one of our backup girls.
Yes, she was.
You got that documented as original Wally Booth Pro Stock car.
Really? Wow.
how about
Look at that nice Mach 1.
Yeah.
Love the old Plymouths.
Jeez.
Super stock Hemi.
And that's a clone of the original Doc Burgess's Black Arrow. The original car got destroyed, so they found the Smith brothers found this car and made it into a clone.
Oh, he's breaking something.
Oh, look at that
He's
thing.
coming in. He's good. You front end alignment after that, maybe?
I can read the part number off the transmission. Look at that. I mean,
Oh,
And
the
that's a
crowd loves that
five-speed car.
stuff.
He shifts second, third, and fourth, first, second, third, possibly fourth gear up on the rear wheels.
oh
only.
my gosh.
That's nuts.
All right,
Yeah.
he's officially a badass.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Hello.
And it's a pretty car on top of it. It's not like it's a junk. Look at that car. It's a
That
nice
thing is
car.
great, yeah.
Oh, no.
There
Or
we
at least
go.
it was till it landed. But yeah.
It's a nice car.
it's nice.
That's a real
Oh, look
nice
at there
car.
you go.
There you
Oh, I
go.
like that
Wow.
picture. There we go. The sequence is great. Oh, he came down hard.
Woo, up and down.
He's doing it again and
Yeah.
again.
You know, it's not so easy to get those cars up in the air and keep them
He's
up
running
there.
the same hood scoop I run on my 56.
Well, Nice.
I love
It's
that
a lot
scoop.
easier to get him up than it. Well, it's actually easier to get him down. The problem is sometimes they go down a little too far.
I won't touch that.
Yeah, that's the whole idea. Don't touch that.
Oh, there's a nice one.
Oh, look at this custom. I love this.
what is that?
That's a Chevy Fleetline or
Almost
Style
looks like a
Line
48
Fastback.
Cadillac. It does.
Kitchen.
Almost looks like a 48
And
Cadillac.
I love the headlights. They almost look like 53 Buicks.
Oh, we need to do a feature on that
is
car.
a cool car.
Yeah, very subtle.
Yeah, some of the show cars are out of the Massachusetts areas. That's why the show catches so much attention, because it's not all the cars like from down my area, Westchester, Putnam County, near Danbury. All the cars up there are either out of Albany area, Syracuse, or Massachusetts. And what hurt us that weekend was NSRA had their show over in Vermont. So there was about 50 cars that were over there at their show.
Yeah.
So we lost a few.
But you got the good ones. I'll tell you what. These aren't pre-48 street rides. These are cool machines that sometimes get overlooked. And that is great.
Yeah, that's the parade of winners coming up from out of the
Scott, we need more power. More
Crank
power.
it up. All right. Hey, Bobby, we do appreciate you sending the photos and calling in tonight. We are just about out of time.
Cool.
But we do appreciate
it. And then I'll get some more information and we'll keep you guys informed on what's happening around here.
All right. Thanks a
Hey,
lot,
man,
Bobby.
get me a plane
Thanks,
ticket.
everybody.
I want to come out to
Yeah.
that show.
All right, be safe.
All right.
Bye.
Hey,
Bye-bye.
we got more people tuning in. Jerry
Get
Coomray,
my email, Bruce.
Joe Walla.
Hi,
Rob
Joe Walla.
Castaneda.
Joe Walla can
Joe
play
Walla,
the
the
guitar
band. He can
flat
play.
on his back on the ground. He's amazing.
Well, that's only, that's usually because he hurt something and he can't get up.
Information there.
He
Sorry.
fell on stage and did not miss a riff. I
Yeah.
swear to God, he's amazing.
And I believe at the California Hot Rod Reunion coming up in just a couple of weeks, Joe Walla will be playing that night over at Randy Winkle's garage.
Oh,
I believe
cool.
so. Tell me, Joe. Post it right now on Facebook. Let me know if you're going to be there, because I know I'm going to be there. You're going to be there. We're going to be at the California Hot Rod Reunion. It's 3 days.
Yep.
The 20th, 21st, and 22nd of October. Then I'm going to leave right from Irwindale. We're going to race Irwindale on Thursday night and go from Irwindale to Bakersfield. It's going to be 4 days straight for me.
Oh, now it's like a long drive for you. Now you can walk there now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
can walk
roll
there.
out of bed and go to the track now. And
that's it.
local.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. These local bakers.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
She going to talk
Oh,
like
look
this
at-
now?
look at-
All right, here we go.
Bad
Notice,
Steve.
notice
School
the sign.
zone.
School zone.
Can you hear it, though?
Listen.
Quiet.
Oh, that's healthy.
Anna, we just said be quiet.
I can't. I'm too excited.
Yeah. I was testing the brakes. Brakes fine.
Can we replay that?
Yeah.
I'll be quiet.
Now, was that a
Really
150? Was that a 150 or 210?
That's a 210.
It's a 210.
I took the
Okay.
Voldy now.
Yeah.
These cars driving
School
Michael.
zone, look at
What the?
No, we do not recommend this.
Yes, we do.
Okay. No. Anna does.
See, now that was actually right. I mean, from there, I drove straight here because I was just testing because I was trying to get the car. We're going to drop it off at my house on Friday, and I want to make sure we're putting the hood on, and I want to make sure the brakes work because last time didn't have any brakes.
No, you don't want that.
Well, not the way I drive because
No.
I'm sorry. I drive really. She'll tell you I'm not a.
Yeah.
I don't know what my problem is, but everything I own, everything.
Yeah.
Is modified. Let me tell you something. I have a Chevy Volt that has Tesla batteries in it. I lowered it. I widened it. Took the factory rims. I took the factory rims, cut them in half, had them widened 2 inches, just because it's a Volt. Because in California I need the carpool lane, so I got this Volt. But I couldn't leave it alone. I have the baddest Volt on the planet. People go, "Why'd you modify the Volt?" I modify everything. I don't care what it is. I got to change it up. I just have that problem.
Well, you got to bring it out
Watch
to
for that
Irwindale
car
some night
in-
on Thursday night because we got Teslas that come out and run.
Oh, I have so many cars that, I'm going to go to Irwindale. I'm bringing that. Or
There you
I'm bringing
go.
something real fun. But, I just can't help myself. I mean, no matter
Yeah.
what it is, I don't care what it is. I'll change it up. And it's part of my heritage. My father was the editor-in-chief of Argus Publications in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Really?
Popular hot rodding, Super Chevy, 1001 Truck and Van Ideas, and Super Ford. My dad was the editor-in-chief for almost, 15, 20 years
Wow.
under George Elliott. So I've been doing this long time.
Long time. All right,
Woo!
Bruce, we're just about done. I want you to
we're
get a
holding
shot of.
magazines.
Watch for
that we're
Steve's
doing?
cars in these magazines. Yeah.
We've all got copies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's yours? Yours is
Zoom,
over
zoom.
there. Zoom, zoom.
Zoom.
There's
zoom.
Bruce.
There's
We have it.
Bruce.
There's proof.
No trailer queens. We drive them.
No.
They get driven.
Yeah.
No trailer queens. Where's that? Here.
Yeah. This is-
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are about done for the night. I mean, we
God.
are toast.
yeah.
Bruce, why don't you sign us off? Because you're the only one that's not laughing like we are.
You know, it's hard to believe. There's still not enough material. We might have to spill some of this over and then the next show or something or other. I don't know. Hey, Bob, good to see you again. And whatever's happening this weekend with you and cars, I'm sure it's going to be great.
Well, I'm going to be at Fireballs in Malibu. Come on out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good. Hey, and Tim, thanks for calling in for the show as well. Steve, good to see you in the studio.
Thank you. Appreciate honor coming here.
Yay,
Pleasure.
thank you.
Anna Octane, good to see you again tonight.
Good to be here.
I am not a crook.
Yeah.
Hey, the encore presentation of this very show is coming up next. Thanks for joining us on GotGas.com as well as Facebook Live. And let's do this again next time. All
I
right?
think we should.
Yeah, good night, everybody.